back to Visions 2018. Next, we meet a Collegeville teen with seemingly unlimited talents and interests. She's a senior in high school, but also a rising senior at Harvard University, where she's been taking classes since she was just 13 years old. Our Christie Ileto has the story of this astonishing 17-year-old.
Meet Ashie Ananthan Rayanan, Ashie for short. The instrument she's playing is called a veena, with origins centuries old. And the style of dance she's doing is called Bharatanatyam, traditional classical dance. Both forms of artistic expression originated in her ancestral homeland of India.
We are primarily from South India. So a specific part in India called Kerala is where my ancestry is from, and we have all branched out from there. Now we have people everywhere in India. So people ask me where I am from in India, I'm like, the west, the south, the north, definitely, and a little bit of the east.
Ashie was born here, but her parents came to the U.S. from India almost 20 years ago.
I do take a great amount of pride in terms of being able to associate myself as an Indian American. I think that both parts of the culture are incredibly important to my identity, having been born here, brought up here, but then also being able to connect back to my roots.
While classical Indian dance is one way for Ashie to connect, she also teaches this form of dance. But that's just the beginning of her talents and activities.
I love to ride horses, I love to play golf, I play piano, I'm a writer.
She's a spelling bee champ, a target shooter, an app developer, and a certified Zumba instructor. She's also published 3 books by the age of 14.
One of my goals throughout all my activities is, what can I learn? What's new?
But she balks at the thought of being considered a phenomenon.
I don't think what I've done is out of the ordinary in terms of, I think it could be accomplished by any individual who is driven in the same way.
If her theory is correct, that would mean practically anyone can fly a plane before the age of 20.
I started training as an aviation student when I was 10, actually. That was my first flight ever. The first time, I was pretty petrified of having that height because I don't know how to swim, so if I fall in the water, I am in trouble.
Besides swimming, there are other things she actually cannot do.
As a 3rd grader or 4th grader, I ventured out into the softball field once. That was it. Just the one time. I didn't know how to play. I just people were running towards me, around me. It was a very tumultuous experience for me emotionally, and I was not ardent to repeat it.
Perhaps the most astounding accomplishment in her young life is that she's been earning college credits at Harvard University while still in high school.
And when I graduate high school this year, I will be a senior at Harvard in 2019.
She's majoring in legal studies with plans to practice corporate law.
I was about 13 when I took my first class with them.
She commutes to Cambridge twice a week while attending Commonwealth Charter Academy, a cyber school.
A cyber school is basically an online community that has classes, homework, assignments, everything like a typical school, but just all online.
And she says the online curriculum gives her the flexibility to fit so many other activities into her life, including learning more than 6 languages.
There are hundreds of languages in India, too many to name. I am proficient in about 6 of them. I speak Tamil, Hindi, Gujarati, Bengali, Marathi, and Punjabi.
She also speaks French, but at home with her family, Tamil is the official language, where their Hindu religion dictates what foods they can eat.
Hinduism is broken up into several subsects. We are part of the Brahmin culture amongst that, and within Brahminism, vegetarianism is a pretty strong belief because of the equality for all creatures that are created by Brahma, who is our creator.
Also at home, her family has a display of Hindu idols on the staircase landing.
It's kind of just providing honor to the different incarnations of the power that we believe in.
Indian art decorates the walls.
We have Tanjore gold art, which is one of the biggest things in India. That's 24-karat gold being painted into the canvas of an idol.
While she often wears traditional Western clothing, she also wants to honor her heritage.
I recently started wearing saris for myself. It was not really something that I was even permitted to do as a 14-year-old.
Which brings us to another thing this teen has accomplished, the creation of her own fashion line.
It's definitely one of the ones that was inspired by my Indian heritage the most.
With so many pursuits, Ashie says it's hard to see friends often or get into serious dating.
I think it's something that requires a lot of dedication, even mentally. I would love to have that in the future.
A future that looks as bright as she is.
A young woman I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more about in the future.